In the Ango community, a suburb of Sekondi Takrade, in the Wasampoho district of the Western region of Ghana, founder, chief executive officer, and multiple award-winning Issa Wadrago of B. Bovid Farms, building business on values, integrity, and dignity, a leading African social impact organic entrepreneur in his elements, is inspiring tomorrow's leaders, visiting his farms established 18 years ago for precisely such purposes, to show the bounties of nature that is protected and nurtured lovingly to both young and the old, and make them appreciate the importance of conservation at a time of climate change.
I'm actually an IT person, so agriculture wasn't anything I learned officially. But any African growing up in a village, agriculture is part of you. And agriculture, once again, is also known to be the cornerstone of Africa. Every second day we will talk about agriculture. But if a country like Ghana really want to succeed in agriculture sector, and then I think we are doing very little in that respect. So for me, having that in mind and traveling around the world, I realized that people were talking more about theoretical aspect as compared to the practical aspect. And you see a conference where you have about 150 people come from all over the world, maybe 100 of them are PhD holders, talking about economic development, sustainability, agriculture development, poverty elevation. And I'm like, hey, I was born in a village and I know what it is. So I realized that the solutions to problems, people were thinking of just take it here and dump it there. But for truly agriculture development in Africa, we need a local solution. And the local solution is what I decided to do, and that's what I'm doing.
B. Bovid Farms is an agriculture innovation initiative contributing to helping smallholder farmers and research institutions to improve their knowledge and skills about organic and biodiversity products within the agriculture value chain in Ghana.
In Takoradi here, in fact, very hardly to get a farm or a small portion to grow your own. Coming down here, I think I have to even utilize my hall to grow something for myself.
Ahano onye completely dry.
The organizer of the Alternate Farmers Day on the Farm Initiative, Issa Wadrago, explains that he introduced the Alternative Farmers Day on the Farm Initiative, which will be celebrated every year on his farms, to inspire tomorrow's leaders visiting his farms and also showing them the bounties of nature that is protected and nurtured lovingly to both young and old, christened Garden of Eden.
Garden of Eden because I'm coming to think of ecological biodiversity garden, whereby you have all sorts of plants, all sorts of fruits in diverse way. And it reminded me also a bit of what we learned as kids in the Garden of Eden. So I said, oh, that's a Garden of Eden for me. So that's how the Garden of Eden came. If I'm having a plant, an area where I have diverse type of fruits, plants, medicinal plants and all that, it actually rings a bit in the direction of Garden of Eden.
The initiative is opening our eyes to key lessons on biodiversity and ecological garden, and how his great innovation is of utmost importance. Eunice Adomabedu, a self-employed businesswoman, says the initiative is really helping bridge the gap between theory and practice.
This thought today has helped me a lot to know what we can also try to be doing in our various homes.
B. Bovid is my own strategic initiative to provide direct benefit to poor rural farmers by bridging the gap between the theory and practice of sustainable agriculture. I won the overall Businessman Award at the first Chamber of Commerce Business Awards held at the Banquet Hall last year. Issa Wadrago, Chief Executive Officer of B. Bovid, explains agroforestry and organic vegetable farming and how he has been able to manage to keep it creatively.
As you can see, we have this agroforestry setup. It's also a demonstration site. We have almost 15 acres, and we are doing that by planting different types of timber trees. So in agroforest, when we talk about agroforest, it's a combination of timber trees and food crops and other things. So we are demonstrating that with various types of timber trees, and then in between we do with the farming. You see, we see the cucumber, spring onions, corn. We saw ayoyo, garden eggs. We have turmeric there. You see different types of timber trees, and we have one of our big 3 dams here. You go and see. So it's surrounded by various timber trees.
Using shared value approach through inclusive business and social entrepreneurship.
I saw 3 different dams they've had in here to create irrigation sources for their crops, which is quite impressive, very, very impressive. I came here also with the idea that as a poultry farmer, my major headache is my manure, where to dispose of it. Knowing there are farms that are dedicated to you doing solely organic stuff, it's easier to push the manure here to support what they are doing as well. I'm very impressed with the sort of setup they have here, and I actually wish I could also do same beyond the poultry farming I'm already doing. We are used to the generic way of awarding people for work, and where we don't really see the kind of work they are doing. This is an alternative to demonstrate the work the person you are awarding is doing, if it is befitting or not.
The multiple award-winning Issa Wadrago is not relenting on his achievements. He has also introduced what he calls sustainable farming technique, that's climate-smart agriculture, where farmers are getting access to water to do farming all year round.
The main objective here is to be able to have water to irrigate all the things we are doing here. As I said earlier, during the dry season, because of this water, we are not dependent on rainwater. Again, when it rains, we harvest rain, and throughout the year, we have enough rain to irrigate all the things we are doing here. You see, on my left, it's a huge land which we are also going to clear and use for agriculture. We can still water or irrigate that from here. And this is over close to 15 acres. Those working here are also watering it from this. So this alone is capable of watering between 30 to 50 acres of land throughout the year.
Building capacity and promoting entrepreneurship among the youth and reducing migration to towns is one of the major approaches Be Bovid Farms and Hope in Motion Youth Entrepreneurship Development Foundation are working hard to achieve.
As a youth-driven NGO, we realized there are more opportunities in agriculture. And we also realized that the youth are not taking agriculture seriously because they are thinking there isn't money and there isn't anything in agriculture. So we decided to partner Be Bovid so we can know a lot of avenues and then let the youth also know what they can get when they venture into agriculture.
The initiative is prioritizing the interests of marginalized groups like youth and women in agriculture.
If we want to live sustainably and also eat good, then we should incorporate the farmer, and that is what is called inclusive, social inclusive. When people talk about social inclusive and sustainability, they put it somewhere else. But social inclusive and sustainability goes hand in hand.
Farmers say due to the increase in yield and profit margins, they are now in a better position to take care of their families.
Ana kakaduru na ina de turmeric na spring onion vegetables nya biare ye wa ha ye yankaka kaka ye shemba ye she ni na ma me na kaka wa ha de
ma ye no enam ye papa isa na da wo manti wati mama ye baby pa ye so etimi ye eduma ye sati ko ya no Sisi a bibi a enam bibi a ya ye edwuma ko bibi na mo no so na ye du sam pempeso no. Edwuma fa ye de bibi akoso kamama.
The founder of Be Bovid says he is committed to sustaining this great initiative and has plans to scale up the initiative further in the coming years.
You can be a farmer and still do the things a banker is doing. That's what we need to do. How do you do that? The farmer should know that he or she benefits from what he or she produces. And that will open door for others to enter. As a social entrepreneur, you're thinking of environment, you're thinking of the people, you're thinking about social and profitability. So I just wanted to do something that can show a clear definition of sustainability.
Be Bovid has simply demonstrated that agriculture, and indeed innovative agribusiness for that matter, is rewarding not only in creating jobs and improving the socioeconomic circumstances of individuals, particularly unemployed youth, but that agriculture is indeed the bedrock of Ghana's political stability and economic development.
Afisi se de na nka nyama ya dom na nka ya trem kura sense na nka edwuma ye no ya hwe no ya no mbodfo amahe
ne mu bushanfo ni na ya abo en pa and then aspa.
The success of the Be Bovid model has earned Issa Ouedraogo a reputable place in major international business conferences and discussions where he is frequently invited to speak on issues relating to socially inclusive and sustainable agriculture.